this week I'm more delighted than ever because we got our claps back. As you can tell, we got our music back, we got our claps back. We made it to another delightful week. It's Wednesday. The last podcast we did wasn't on a Wednesday. We tricked everybody.
Yeah, we did it on a Monday.
Ooh, your microphone sounds good today.
Thank you. This is those fresh batteries.
I think that has something to do with it. Hold on a second. I'm just going to...
Shout out to Melissa Wolf for the fresh batteries.
Shout out to producer Melissa Metaverse, Melissa Wolf. And I'm happy I can keep hitting this clap button because it's back. No, I can't. Look, I'm hitting it. Oh, there it goes.
Yay.
Everybody, welcome to the Sepsiss Show. Of course, it's 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday. This is our band page and our podcast about music, art, culture, technology, social media, and more. This is a program where me and Lexi, we examine the details. We look at some stories and articles about the music industry. We also look at articles and other news stories, trending topics about advertising, marketing, sometimes law, litigation, and social media. I gotta do one thing here. This little thing. There we go. Is that better? That's not better. Hold on. Let's go that way. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we also cover social media here on the program. There is a chat here. You guys can interact with us and conversate with us in the chat. We cover some cultural and legal topics that relate to the music industry mostly, but we do cover some current events that relate to everybody's lives, just for fun. On the podcast and live stream, we examine and discuss how we discover and shop for music. We also talk about how we discover new artists, how we discover and learn about new bands, how bands are discovered, how they're developed, and really the delivery system of modern day music. This show also covers the logistics.
Yes.
How physical media is packaged. We take a look at the devices. Me and Lexi talk about the developers, right? The coders and everybody making all these cool apps and software. Everybody making the programs and the files. We talk about manufacturing and how the players and the gadgets and devices are manufactured, and how the laws and how litigation and the topics around the law helps shift our world for technology in physical storefronts. That's what this is all about, if you didn't know. On this podcast, we cover the topics, the conversations, and the challenges that in music may sound rare to a lot of you. These may not be the topics that you hear a lot about when you think about music news.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, that's what we cover here on the program. The topics that we cover here on the program are related to the music industry, but maybe not the one you're familiar with. Musicians and people in the music industry are simply too well behaved to talk about the stuff that we talk about and reveal here on this podcast. So this is the only place, and I mean it.
It is, yeah.
This is the only place where we are not afraid to get fired, we're not afraid to get divorced, and you can't pray us away.
That whole part.
So if you're wondering why we can say the things that we say, it's because I can't be fired. You can't fire me. You can't take my job away from me. I can't be divorced, and you can't pray me away. And that gives me the ability to come on here and say the things that I mean, because we don't belong to any groups that prevent us from saying the things that we believe. And we don't count or rely on any gods, creatures, religions, individuals, politicians to believe in or say the things that we say for us to believe in them or say them. The things that we say on our own. The internet is a place where people go to make their talking points, and perceptions somehow don't always hold up in the real world. So we know this. But if it is your goal to seek wisdom and speak the truth like we are here, a lot of people wonder, what is our goal? What are we trying to do? Well, it's simple. And I know the world right now, as complicated as it may seem, to keep it complicated, it really must depend on people making things complicated. So I'm not going to make something simple complicated for you. This program is all about discovering the emerging truth and wisdom to speak the truth in our best interest, to remain persuasive, because conversations are the key ingredients and recipe to hope. And you have to be persuasive in a world where the majority is terrified of the truth. The things that we say and believe and say and do online don't depend and rely on any conservative or liberal or political or religious views. We don't do Red Sox. We don't do the Yankees. We don't do Warner Music Group. We don't do death metal. We don't do power metal. We don't do hip hop versus rap, white versus black, man versus woman, creature versus... We don't do none of that here. No boogeymans, no ghost stories, just the facts. Never trust anybody that attempts to convert questions of the truth into questions of power.
That's deep.
I'm going to bring it back. Whether it's the music industry, your parents, the church, your boss, your wife, or your husband for that matter, never, ever put your trust in anyone or anything or any group that attempts to convert any questions that you have about that group. Any questions of truth. If they convert them into questions of power, you have an issue on your hands. All right? So study us. You can study us. You can hate us. You can love us. This is the Sepsiss Show. Hey, what's that? Oh, that's not... What the hell? What's doing that? So, I have kind of a fun one for you today.
Ooh, let's have fun.
So, you see, this will be a Lexi and William discussion.
Okay. Those are fun.
This is a cool discussion. You guys can be a part of this and join in the chat below. We're going to take this one slow. I did do an AI Google Yahoo search on this, but we'll see what it says at the end. I don't want to spoil it, and for fuck's sake, I didn't read it because I want to react to it and respond with everybody. So, have you guys heard, like, throughout my time being in a local band? We've been in Sepsiss. This will be, I think, 16 years or something. We didn't start recording music, dare I say, professionally. Okay? But we didn't start recording music purposefully. Okay? Until end of 2019, 2020. All right? But we've been around, and we've been playing terrible music, since 2010. And I've always introduced myself and Melissa. We have always considered and embraced introducing Sepsiss as a local band. If you do a quick Google search on us, it will say that Sepsiss is a local band. I always, not for any reason, not to benefit, not because there's a method or I'm going to receive a reward. I go to the shows. And just because we've taken a trip or two to New York or Wisconsin, I definitely wouldn't describe what we do as anything but local or regional, to say the least. All right? So I've always titled I've always introduced our band as a local band. But lately I've been noticing, as we've always seen since 2000, since we've started the band, we have always seen an excitement and waves of energy and excitement put into the title national act. Have you heard bands using this term?
Oh, yeah. It's all over the internet. Okay.
Somebody made a joke to me the other day. Said, "You know who doesn't use the word national act?" And I said, "Who?" And they said, "National acts." But this is not this is not to punch down on national acts or local acts or regional acts. I don't. The whole point of me bringing this up is because I don't know.
Yeah, and I also equally don't know.
I think the internet in the scene, I think the rock and roll scene in the internet, I think it depends and relies on this idea that we're all experts, that we know everybody and we all have connections. And in an industry of who's who and what's what, being on the internet, you know, you can really amplify your role, you know, if, you know, using certain terms. So I wonder to myself, what are the benefits from being a local act versus being a regional act, if any? What are the benefits if there is something that is called a national act? Let's learn here what that means. It's like, you know how people say, "Oh, I'm OCD." You see that thrown around a lot. But for the sake of the internet, for the sake of misinformation, in an industry of who's who and what's what, and words mean everything and definitions really define you, this is a capitalist country, so that means you're defined by what you do for work. So I'm curious about why bands are, if at all, what bands are excited about becoming a national act. What it means to be a national act, who gets the say, right? Like you're a national act, right? Mm-hmm. It's different from being a local act. All you got to do to be in a local band is just be local to where you're playing. But I don't know what are the categories, what are the requirements that qualify a local band transitioning into a national act. Okay? Like, for instance, there are some questions that I had. Like, what is a national act? Does that mean that... So, what's the nation? The nation is the United States, right? Is that the nation?
No.
What is the nation? I don't even know what the... Do you know? Look up the word nation. I don't
know what a nation is.
Okay, but that's what I mean. So how do we know what a national act is if we don't know what the nation is?
I have a nation.
I don't, and the thing is, I don't know, and I it's time to figure it out.
Okay, a nation, like the word nation.
Sure, let's start there.
Nation.
Let's start national or national.
National. Okay.
Yeah, let's get an idea for what the word means.
What does the word national?
I know what local means. I'm local. We're in a local band. I know what that is. So let's start with Sepsiss, right? Sepsiss is a local band, and we'll say that Sepsiss is a great definition of a local band. Okay, right? Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so we'll start there as a base. That the requirements for being a local band is to live and play in town. Okay, what does national mean though, as a word?
National is the adjective form of nation.
Okay, that's right. That's why I originally said that. Right on.
It describes anything that relates to an entire country or its people.
Okay, can you read that again?
It describes anything that relates to an entire country or its people.
We got to stop there. Okay? So when we ask ourselves what is a national act, we have to understand what a nation is. You know, so that's why I said, is it the country? Like, so does that mean if you live in the United States, you live in the nation? Does that make you a national act?
I think that just makes you a citizen of the nation, of the country. I don't think that makes you a national act. I don't know.
Okay. How many states are in the nation?
50.
Okay. So how many states does a band need to play in before they can qualify as a national act? That, I mean, if you play in all the big cities, are you a national act? If you play at the capitals, are you a when do you get to hold the nation badge? That's my question, okay? Mm-hmm. And then, like, if you're a national act, what does that mean for all the other local bands that you play with? Mm-hmm. If you come from Dover, okay, and you're a national act from Dover, who are the bands that play with you in Dover? Are they also national acts?
And when, yeah.
And, like, here's another thing, like, if you, let's say you have, like you see now on the internet, some bands, because of technology, some bands can live in the UK, where two members live in France or Greece or something. Forgive me, I don't know too much about the United Kingdom. I'm just coming up with an example. But then you can have another band member that lives in Romania, you know, and maybe your drummer lives in Texas. And then you got a violinist in Japan. Are you now a global band? Let's say you're a local band, right? And you promote yourself as a local band, but you got one band member that lives in Manchester, one band member that lives in Rhode Island, one band member that lives in New York City, one band member that lives in Philly. Are you now a tri-state New England Northeast band? Where do
you get these titles?
So what I'm saying is,
how do you get?
And then you have to think about it. Like, what if you did a tour in '88? And you really did. Like, you did a big global tour, ships and boats and islands and all type of stuff, right? Like, how long does a person get to hold? Like, I'm a local band. I've been in a local band forever, right? And I'll probably be in the band until I stop playing music. That's how I know I'm in a local band, and I know when I'm out because we won't be playing in the band locally anymore. But when you reach national status, how long do you keep it? Like, let's say you played a national tour in '88, but you've been playing local ever since. Are you still a national act? I'm wondering.
Mm-hmm. These are all good questions. And it just keeps making me ask, when do you get these titles? What's the ethics?
And then I wonder who gets the say and who has the authority, and who, because I mean, if whoever gets the say, they could take it away from you. I don't know. So it drives the deeper question. Does national mean more professional? Are national acts more professional than regional acts? And are regional acts more professional or higher quality musicians than local acts? It just seems to me all of these words can be used to develop a hierarchy. It sounds like favoritism, negotiating tactics. At each level of the music industry, at every department, people are really counting on devaluating each other. Like, from the PR guy to the venue. It does
seem that way,
from the PR guy to the venue guy to the booking agents in the venues, pointing out how unsuccessful the local bands are while still seemingly booking them every season. It really counts on a supremacy and hierarchy format, like major labels versus independent labels. When people say, I'm on a major label, as if to insinuate, as if to say that you've made it to a place where you should be treated special or better than independents. Like, you might, if you have a major label violinist, there's this idea that they play better than a violinist in a subway, but we all know, common sense, that that's not true. So it's almost like if somebody's corporate, if somebody's under control of a legacy corporate or organization, then that makes them pure, that makes them moral, that makes them good, and therefore they should have the authority, or they should have the choice of the time slot, or the bigger piece of the pie. What are the requirements for national acts versus regional acts, and who gets the say of that?
Who gets to decide?
We are always mentioning all the time that Sepsiss is a local band. And we know that local bands don't draw. And I don't mean other local bands. I'm including us as a local band. Local bands do not draw more than 25, 30 people if they're scheduled to play every Saturday. And that's not punching down on people. Doesn't matter what genre you're in. It doesn't matter how long you've been around. New bands or old bands in New England, no band draws 25 or 30 people every Saturday night. Everyone knows that no one New England band draws a crowd for the entire show. So if you see a New England local band on a show, it doesn't matter how long they've been around, it doesn't matter how well they play the bass, it is a collaborative show where the local bands all bring in 10 to 15 to 25 people each. At a local show, no local bands should be counting on a local headliner to pack the room. If there is a band out there in New Hampshire or New England that is drawing 25 to 30 people every Saturday night during a season, put them in the fucking comments so we can play with them. Put them in the comments so we can give them an award.
Tag them.
Right. Why aren't you going out to support that band? Why haven't you bought tickets? If there are a handful of New England bands that are drawing 25, 30 audience members every other weekend, then please tag them in the comments so I can become their number one fan and learn what they're doing right. You see?
Mm-hmm.
If you are a promoter or you are a venue owner, okay, and you don't like how much a band is drawing, say you don't like how much Sepsiss draws, stop booking us.
Yeah, why book with us?
Right. If you don't like how many people we draw, come to one of our shows. If you don't like how many people we draw, stop booking us. And then book bands that can draw better than us. If you have local bands that can draw better than me, let me get out of their way. Are you kidding me? Let me open up for them.
For real.
So if there are bands in New England that are packing the room with 25, 30 people every Saturday night, I think that's a good number. Come and play with us. If you're a band and you're getting 15 to 20 people and the promoters don't like you and the managers don't like you, DM us, message us. We'd love to play with you.
Absolutely.
Because we understand that New England shows for local bands is a collaborative experience. I think we've gotten far too comfortable with letting D-leaguers and C-leaguers call themselves national acts and then depending on the locals to pump tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's been, we don't do that no more, but you know the old format. No shot of hate at anybody that's had to do it. We've bought the tickets. We've done pay-to-plays. We've done all the scams. We've done all the schemes. I think that a lot of times people might mistake me as a know-it-all. thinking that I'm online trying to tell people how to run their business. It's quite the opposite. I'm actually showing you where I've made my mistakes and allowing you to choose your own pathway. You know, I wouldn't talk about a lot of this stuff like pay to play and stuff like that if I never did it myself. I always describe Sepsiss as a local band because it's not about showing off or doing a trick. It's about being real and telling people, hey man, when we book shows, we'll try to bring 20 people. On some of our best shows, Sepsiss can bring 45 to 60 people. That's real, everybody, what I just said.
Yeah.
Look
at that.
Right. In other parts of the country, when people book us with the right acts, we might have shows up to 150 to 220 to some of our bigger shows at 250 and 270. That's where we're at. I can deal with it. Can you? So if you're booking us, you know, and we only book 25, and you're not happy with our numbers, and you're not willing to help us develop, then the question is, why aren't you booking these super huge local bands that are packing the clubs? Stop booking my band and start booking the bands that pack the club. Stop booking our Facebook page. Stop booking Spotify metrics. Stop booking symbols and metrics and methods and numbers. If you promoters really want people to go to the shows, you get up off your fucking ass and you'll start matching the band's draw.
You'll start researching the bands that you want to work with, what their job was like their last show. How were they acting at the last show?
I mean, if I owned a club and I hired bartenders, they'd be responsible for bringing in alcoholics. So what is the venue doing sitting out back telling bands that they don't draw when they don't got 25 friends of their own? How are you going to be a venue owner or a promoter and you don't got 30 real friends in your life that can vouch for you? Hey, at least Sepsiss got that. Mm-hmm. We can't pack a room for 500, but I got 30 people that will vouch for me next Saturday night. If you don't want them to come, let me know so I can book at the next club up the street, stupid. And I'll bring 5 bands that all pack and bring 15 people of their own. Let me know. If you don't like us playing at your club, I'll take my 25 people and the 5 bands and their 25 people will move it up the street.
We'll play somewhere else. That's your problem, not ours.
But you gotta really think about that. Mm-hmm. You don't care, and neither do we. It's almost like being a national act, though. Sometimes Lexi is creating an inside circle from an outside circle, and that is to say that, you know, the person is a national act is above the people locally, and maybe the local bands don't deserve enough. I think sometimes that
it seems like supremacy.
And I'm not saying
that it is.
I'm not saying that people who title themselves that don't deserve that title. What I am saying is I think it gets used as advantageous or deceptive advertising as to insinuate or project and amplify that a person is more successful than they are and therefore should be treated special. If I say that I'm a king and you're just a local, then people might throw down petals at my feet. People might give me opportunities or treat me differently than you. That's what I'm saying. People say all the time that we don't draw, but that's why we have Swarmy Fest, Lexi, because we understand that New Hampshire is a collaborative effort.
Yeah. And
the local bands that play on Swarmy Fest have the understanding that we're all going to bring an audience and draw. Not that any one person there is a rock star and that we need to rely or depend on any bands to bring the audience. Everybody brings an audience to Swarmy Fest, and that's why it makes it special.
And that's what collaborative means. Us all working together to do something.
We might make the argument that no bands draw here. So what is the responsible number? What is the responsibility for one band in the whole region to draw? What is the number?
And who gets to decide that number?
So if I'm a local band, what is the number of audience members a local band should draw? Can everybody put that in the comments. I'll wait a second. What is a good number for a local band to draw every other Saturday? Granted, you're not playing, Jewel every Saturday or the Cellar or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you're moving around. It sounds like people are treating the national act. I'm not sure if anybody has read what a national act is, and I never have. So I know that local bands don't draw. So how many local bands don't draw? We discussed that. We know that no local bands draw. If there's a local band that draws more than Sepsiss, can you please put them in the comments? And I'm not asking you because I believe I draw more than other people. I know for a fact that Sepsiss does not draw more than other local bands. However, can you please put the local band and tag them in the comments that draws better than we do, so we can congratulate them, not compete with them.
We can work with them.
Right, so we can
not compete with them.
We'll fucking hire them.
Right.
We'll get them paid. That's what I'm saying. Like, if a band can draw 12 people, right? Good. We will match you the 12. That's the point.
That's what Swarmy Fest is all about.
And if you are a New England band and you are in a female-fronted band, for instance, chances are we share the same fans.
And that's not a bad thing.
That's a good thing.
That's actually pretty cool.
It means we have the opportunity to grow the fan base together. But that's a whole nother podcast, I think.
Yeah.
So why is it so important for local bands to be called national acts eventually? I think that the positive side is this. I think that it gives people something to look forward to. It's like incremental. They feel like they're on the pathway to something bigger. And I do understand the psychology behind it. But I wonder, is it for the fans to get excited? Because I get that. Like, I get the Sepsiss 4-time award-winning New England. Look at the awards behind me. 4-time undisputed New England Music Awards. New England. That shit doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean I play the guitar better than anybody. And that's why I don't go around acting like that. Being a New England national act doesn't make me play guitar better. It doesn't make me a nice person. It doesn't fill dance floors.
Doesn't open the pathway
Right.
to a Grammy.
Right. People don't like me anymore because I won a couple of, cheap awards. Nobody's gonna do anything special for me. I'm not waiting for the world to pat me on the back. Sometimes I wonder if it is it beneficial for bands to call themselves national acts because they might get a financial advantage. They might improve their negotiations. They might get better time slots. Right? But the real question for me is, what do national bands get, and being a national band, what do you have to offer that regional bands and local bands don't? So, like, if you are a national band, the question becomes, what do national bands, and I'm not saying this sarcastically, I'm saying this in a way so we can learn together. Chat, everybody in the comments section, what do regional bands offer that local bands don't? Go ahead. I'll give you some time with it. I can't think of anything.
I can't think of nothing either, honestly. I can't.
Even when people are like...
Because locals can do...
Dude, but even when people are like, I'm a national band. Okay? And a lot of national bands come to Jewel and they don't draw.
Right.
Okay? And they count on the locals to draw. Hear me out. Now, some people might look at that and go, ha, 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 you're a national band and you only drew 40 people. But if I'm one of the people in the audience and Al DiMeola only drew 40 people, I'm fucking stoked. Like, what?
Thanks for us. We can kick our feet up.
Like,
what are you talking about? It's Al DiMeola.
But, like, I don't know. If my favorite band came to town, of course, you want people to be able to pay their bills, but circumstantially, if one of my favorite bands came to town and only 15 people were in there, cool, more for me.
Right, more space.
I actually don't see that as unsuccessful either. Look at that claim resolved. Look at copyright claim resolved. Unfucking believable.
And like another question too is how many people are national acts supposed to draw? Like what's their limit?
That's what I'm saying. Like if and then like if so let's say that
or
you're
minimum, not limit.
You're a national act now. You draw 75 people. Okay, so what happens when you draw 60? You're not a national act.
Are you a local now?
Right.
Do you no longer have that title?
So I know like headliners might have certain perks, like early sound check or fucking a touring band might have extra water in the green room. Even I think that's a little unfair. But there are some things that headliners get, as perks. So what sort of perks, what kind of things signify you as a national band other than having water in the green room? Okay, good. You're a local band. You got water in the green room. What is it? What details? For the sake
like tour packages, isn't it?
Is it a matter of rewards? Is it a matter of better treatment? Is it a matter of advantageous power while spending time performing at the venue? Is it clout? Is it status? Is it resume building? I don't know what it is. Okay. So I did look up National Act.
Ooh, let's see what it says. I'm
curious.
I'm really like excited and eager to see what it says.
Yeah.
So we can really just put a definition to it.
We'll do it tight too.
Let's get some science.
All right.
We need more science.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the phone for this so I could.
Okay.
You guys know I'm not making this shit up.
He really did look it up.
Okay, this is I'm gonna show you what I said. I asked, God damn it. I didn't ask, God damn it.
That wasn't a question, God damn it.
God damn it. So this is what I did. All right. I asked Google. Now, look, I know some of you guys don't like hearing from me.
This is from Google.
Okay. And I know sometimes I talk about heavy metal and you guys look at me and go, I don't want to learn heavy metal from that guy. I don't want to learn the government from that guy. I don't want to learn social media. And I don't want to learn the music industry through that guy. I know that. That's why we got Google.
Mm-hmm. This is from Google, your best friend.
Right. All you guys are beholden to big record labels and you guys swear by the industry and you're beholden to huge companies like Nike and Spotify and Google and Facebook.
So this is from Google.
So.
The Google. Googly goo. Okay.
I've never typed this in. I don't know what to expect, okay?
Here we go.
I said, what heavy metal bands would be considered modern national acts? And what would be the defining and detailed reasons for classifying them as a national act? What would be the detailed reasons for classifying a band as a national act? I don't know, so let's learn about it.
Google says,
as of 2026, the landscape of heavy metal is dominated by a mix of established new school acts who have graduated to arena headliners and rapidly ascending bands shaping the modern sound. A modern national act in this context is defined as a band that consistently sells out mid to large sized venues across the United States, headlining major festivals and high charting releases. Okay?
So it's not just the shows,
No.
It's also their songs and albums and releases.
And how they're being hired.
Mm-hmm.
Are you being hired for spots at large events that are co-headlining or headlining? Have you made it beyond support act?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got from that.
Are you headlining Saturday at
I'll
Blue
go back.
Ridge?
I'll go back to it. A band that consistently sells out mid to large size venues, and headlines major festivals. Okay, high charting releases. Not you made it to the.
Not 1K.
Right.
You made it.
That's not you got a little buzz on Spotify.
Nope.
This isn't Spotify Wrapped.
Nope. This is.
Okay. This is a corporate world.
Yes.
This is a corporate language. So what are we learning? National act is not an independent thing. This is a corporate. Right.
You're going towards corporate.
It goes into it and it starts to give examples. It says right off the bat, Spirit Box has graduated. The reason is they're considered the leaders of the new wave of heavy music, graduated quickly from smaller clubs, direct support for arena acts like Korn, and then made it to headlining high-profile tours, demonstrating massive streaming numbers, diverse popularity across metal genres. Wow. So when we talk about national act, we're talking about diversity. Mm-hmm. Not niche. Not you got like Sepsiss is a local tiny cult niche. So far removed from a corporate national headlining arena band. That's what this is describing. Mm-hmm. Gojira. Okay? Their reputation was solidified by consistent, critically acclaimed high charting releases over the last decade. Like for instance, their performance at the 2024 Olympics. That's fucking huge. Mm-hmm. And they also did tour support for Metallica on a world tour, headlining their own dates. Also, it says Bad Omens. They've achieved a mediocre rise through the viral popularity, but crossed over, creating high demand for arena level shows. Mm-hmm. Top tier attraction for major music festivals. Sleep Token is another one. Lorna Shore, Knock Loose. So the key factors for being a national, this is what it says, key factors for being a national act in 2026. Active, large-scale, nationwide touring, equivalent to, let's say, Avatar. Festival headlining, positioning on the top two headlines of major festival bills, positioned at the top two lines of a major festival bill. Active cultural impact, high streaming, viral marketing, and critical acclaimed in the current decade. Dudes, what have we learned?
The stark difference between being a local band and a true national act. This is what a true national act is.
You know what I've learned? You know what I've learned? Even after all the big festivals we've played, Lexi, mm-hmm. even after all the celebrities that we've opened up for and Grammy winners that we've worked with, even after we've won 4 awards, we are nowhere near
Spirit Box.
Being right. So
no.
Just because we go and we travel and we play big festivals in the Midwest, or we go shoot a couple shows in Ohio, or we go play some gigs with friends in New York, doesn't mean, I can't speak for another band, it doesn't mean that Sepsiss is a national act. And that's what I want to establish. Mm-hmm. So if we are as big as we are, and we are telling you that even though we've won awards, even though we've charted, even though we've worked with Grammy-nominated producers, and even though that we've opened up for Jelly Roll and Puddle of Mud and Static X, and the list goes on, even though that we've done all of those things, we're not even close to being considered a national act. So if we've done all those things and we are just a local band, then that means everybody else can calm down. We can be a place where people go, Sepsiss is a local band, and that's where we can start. We are I don't want to say the bottom. If even though we've done all the things that we've done and we've achieved, we are still telling everybody and titling ourselves and promoting ourselves as a local band. If you're not bigger than us, then why not just be a local band with us? What's so bad about being a local band?
It's not bad at all.
All right. Wow, I've never looked up National Act, and I'm glad that we did.
Yeah, learned a lot today. That's really cool. Very humbling. There's a lot of humility.
Okay, so the next one I have, the next conversation I have for us is, we've been talking a lot with our friends and even promoters lately have been asking us, what are some tips about discovering shady promoters, shady deals? What are some ways that we can have a conversation here so when bands are booking shows, they can have an unlimited toolbox at their disposal to determine which shows are best fits negotiating for their band? Do you like that?
That's a good way of putting it, definitely.
I think the one thing that happens, especially when you're new in the business and you're a younger band, you're just so happy to ask gigs. I mean, you're so happy to have gigs, that you don't want to ask any questions.
But sometimes it's not asking those questions that can really lead to either some positive things or some negative things.
When promoters are trying to book with me, one thing that I always look for is how much details, how much organization, and how much the promoter has planned to invest themselves. So like the first thing, like when we're negotiating a show with people, before we even get to money and all that other stuff, like, do you even know what day we're having the show? See, I know
what time it starts.
Right, and I know this feels like, okay, Will, everybody knows this stuff. No, they don't.
No.
They don't. Like, you guys know at home. I expect you guys to, but like most people don't. Like, young bands don't know that. They don't know when they're approached for shows, that some of these guys, much like a Ponzi scheme, they need somebody foolish to participate so they can collect them and use them as the negotiating, use them as a business card. A lot of people will book bands like us as a business card. That's why I said earlier, like, don't book our social media. Like a lot of like what I'm saying is a lot of young bands will get booked and exploited as a bargaining chip.
Because they had 100,000 streams on their Spotify.
Oh, right, or I'll give you these two stupid bands for that one.
Right.
I mean, that people are mean like that.
You got to know that.
Yeah. So if you're new to the game, make sure the promoter that's hitting you up has the basics filled out. The dates, the times, what we like to call in Sepsiss, the vitals. But don't be afraid to ask questions. I know coming out of the gate, it's really hard when you're a young band and you're getting your first gig, especially if you're open up for somebody cool, or you don't want to ruin anything. And the basic understanding is, if you make the promoters mad, you'll never play again. Yes,
that's not true.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Because the promoters come and go, dude. The bands are here forever. The music's here forever. The people that really love the music, the fans that plan on coming, even fans will come and go. But the true supporters, they're more than fans. The true super fans and supporters of the scene, they're going to be here for a long time. You guys know who you are. When booking with promoters, ignore conversations about metrics and Facebook numbers and stuff like that. We're at a point now where the fans know, the promoters know, you guys know that even if you have 20,000 Facebook followers, it doesn't translate into ticket sales or people on the dance floor. Right? Like, we're there now,
What you really want to do is ask the previous show, previous promoter that's worked with that particular band or those particular bands. You ask them what the draw was like. How many people did these bands draw?
And then you hold them to it. I mean, no one's going to show you the books, and that's kind of the problem with the local scene, is they say that it's community and we're all working on it together, but everybody's got the book sealed tight. I think what's important here is that, like, if like I said earlier, if you are having questions that require the truth, and then somebody makes it into a question of power, then you got a problem on your hands.
That's a clear red flag to watch.
So the reason why I say is ignore metrics and stuff like that for either for negotiating or for defensive purposes. I think that that might be deep for some of you guys, but quite literally, promoters will book or not book a band based on their numbers, their metrics. Even a fancy picture can be deceptive advertising. Now with AI, with what we can do with the machines and deceptive predatory marketing, anyone can pretend to have any number. Anyone can pretend that they get a big draw now. Anybody can pretend that something awesome is going to happen to you later on and show you a shiny picture. Right? So you'll hear that a long time. Jump on this bill or just play this one for free and later on you'll get paid. Okay? Stay away from that shit. Another one, this is a business that is largely based on connections in a whodunit and who's who industry. Everybody's talking about who's fucking who. It's all about rumors and credibility and backstabbing. You don't like it? Then you're in the wrong business. You need to know this. The music industry is a business of rumors. Yeah.
Yep.
Symbols and rumors and posturing in the negotiations are all based on who knows who. I did a track for Ozzy Osbourne back in '77 and who knows who. I've got the coolest venues and who knows who. Hey, I opened up for Static X back in, that's what it's all about. The whole industry, the booking, even when you look at PR companies come to you and they approach you and they say, you should work with us because we've written stories for Chris Brown. You should work with us because we've worked on Coachella. Who knows who? Right? You should work with what do the local promoters say? Hey, stick with me, play my shows. Eventually we're going to get some national acts in here. And we're going to give you an opportunity later on with the idea that that's going to develop you for something good that's going to happen to your band later on. Stay away from name droppers. Because when people start dropping names into business, then you have to ask them, are those relationships still intact? Anytime people start dropping names about who done it and who knows who in the music industry, make sure you go do your homework and see if those relationships are still intact. Don't let nobody show you a flyer from 10 years ago with I set my friends on fire, talking about they book national acts. No disrespect, but it's like saying Sepsiss is a national act. We've already read what that's about. Mm-hmm. So don't get hired onto shows and expect to do ticket work or pre-sale tickets, because there's no other industry in the world where people can get paid before the job is completed.
Nowhere.
There's no
Not even your own job.
There's no other industry except the music industry, where everybody knows in all departments people are being treated and unpaid fairly. But still, the favorites and the boutique companies and corporations and people that are involved want to be paid before the job's done. You wouldn't see that in painting. You don't see that in accounting. But something about the music industry, everybody wants to be paid before we started taking bodies at the door. Everybody wants to be able to predict how many people are going to be downstage center, and everybody wants to get paid even if people get sick.
It's asking a lot.
It's asking a lot. This is the only industry where people want to be paid for the job that they agreed to do, and they want to be paid a large percentage of it before the job's been completed. And that's what's wrong with the music industry. Because it's based on who done it, who knows who, credibility. People promising each other that something awesome is going to develop in the future, instead of having something to offer right now, which is why we don't bullshit promoters and tell them we can draw 50 when we can only draw 15. It's deceptive, it's predatory, and it's an outright lie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you know, lying isn't longevity.
Nope. Lying will keep you in the realm of being a local band if you want to be a national act, to some degree.
Anytime people start talking about the who's who, I used to work with this person, I used to work at this bar, this guy's my best friend, I know Jelly Roll, I'm cool with Run DMC. The next thing that's coming out of my mouth is, when's the last time you fucking talk with them? When's the last time you work with them?
Are they on your phone right now?
I don't want to hear about the draw. I don't want to see ticket stubs. I'm going to go on your social media and I'm going to look at the last time you went live and look at what the dance floor looks like. And this goes for promoters too. If you want to know how much we draw, come to a show.
Take yourself to a show.
Don't talk about it on Facebook. If you
come to a show.
Right, come to a show.
If that's your world, if that's your life, if that's what you want to do, why don't you go to a show?
Right.
And find out for yourself.
Don't talk about it, be about it. The other thing, like with New England promoters, you know, and I do mean this in New England because it's a large area. You get a lot of New England promoters that are counting and relying and depending on this who knows who and who done it kind of industry. So when negotiating or making deals, a lot of the New England promoters will advertise themselves like they get along with everybody. Like they're building a community. You hear this a lot. Of the promoters that are building a community. But you wonder, is the community more there to promote the promoters? Or is the community there to promote, you know, developing the bands? So be wary of promoters that promote themselves more than the shows that they're on. Some of these promoters do more blogging. Some of these promoters do more advertising. They go live and they talk about themselves. And I'm a firm believer, if you're a promoter in New England and you're asking your bands to get an amount of tickets, it's like this. If you're going to ask somebody to bring 10 people, then you need to bring 10 people yourself. So that's one thing that I look at. So when promoters ask me, how many people does Sepsiss plan on drawing? Before I negotiate, I ask them, promoter, how many people do you plan on drawing with me?
How many do you plan on showing up?
I'm not calling my friends and family to the bar to watch the promoter and the bartender. And last I knew, bands don't have to bring in alcoholics.
So how many alcoholics are the bartenders bringing in?
You know what I mean? You know? So if you are a venue owner, if your place is so hot and happening, you should have an installed 25 or 30 just to match your band. Or you should match your mouth and shut the fuck up.
And stop relying on the bands to give you business.
If you are a venue owner and you are a promoter and you can't get 25 people to go to your show, If you work at a venue or you own a venue in New Hampshire and you yourself don't have a budget for a band, or you yourself don't have 25 friends that you can put in the venue every Wednesday, every Friday, every Saturday, if you own a venue and you can't get 30 of your friends to come down to your super cool happening venue, then stop asking the bands to bring their friends down there. And stop booking bands that don't bring the draw that you require. So if you require bands to bring 50 people, then you need to be matching them half. If you're a venue owner. If you own a venue, it's your responsibility for putting asses in that building.
Not the bands.
The bands are a collaborative feature.
Mm-hmm. It's not just up to them to give you business.
Well, it's not up to
the. It's a collaborative.
It's not up to the alcohol. It's not up to the alcohol companies. They just get the booze and they put it behind the shelf. The booze is behind the shelf.
It's a collaborative thing.
The bartender's not required to bring in 15 alcoholics. That's bullshit.
Right.
Damn, we might not even get to no articles.
It's okay. This is needed.
No, it is good. So it's a matter of just doing your homework, you know.
And doing the extra work, looking it up, going out to shows, spending the money to go out to the shows, and getting yourself educated, taking the time.
You can't. So bands, if you hear a promoter tell you that they have the key to something awesome that's going to happen to you later on in life, and they claim that they are the boutique, white glove, premier New England happening management company that you need to book with, then it's not so much of the bands that they book. I want to know who they don't book with.
And why?
So if some promoter comes up to you and they claim that they are the happiest, coolest community and you need to be a part of it, if they are advertising and selling it like your band needs to be booking with them, then I would be curious to the bands they don't book with. I would be curious to the bands that aren't on their flyers. And I would go to those bands and I would say, how come you don't book with such and such booking?
Mm-hmm.
I would go and see if the bands that they booked with 2 or 3 years ago are still booking with them now. Look at the longest lasting bands and promoters in New England, and you noticed a lot of them don't work together anymore.
Why is that?
I'm going to tell you, sunlight is the biggest disinfectant, Lexi. So bring it to the light and you'll find out. That's why we have an open book policy here, because sunlight is the biggest disinfectant. And that's why we call it out.
That's why we talk about it. That's why we talk about the truth.
So I'd be curious if there was a New England promoter that was working with Sepsiss 2 years ago and now they're not. I'd be curious. Mm-hmm. If I was in a band, I'd be curious on why they weren't.
Think about it. Your job is curious about you. They ask you for references. They call your references, see how you are. They call your previous, jobs that you had 3 years ago. They call them up, say, how is this person working with you? Mm-hmm. Y'all should be doing the same thing.
Because the moral of the story is, anyone that's claiming to you to be a well-connected, valuable, if anybody's claiming to be a well-connected, valuable, community-building manager or booking agent, then
seek it out yourself.
Yeah, and ask yourself, why do they have lists of bands they don't work with? And why is it?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody came up to you, right, and you were a band in Massachusetts, right, and you met the cool Massachusetts booking agent, I would start asking them about all the bands in Massachusetts. And I would say, you heard of this band? You heard of this band? And I would wait until there was a band that they didn't heard of or didn't want to work with. And that's where I would find that sunlight. What are the relationships with people that they've worked with before? What are the relationships with the bands? What are the relationships with the national acts that come in? Like, so if you see promoter booking national acts, why don't they return? You know, that's the thing. Like, we do Swarmy Fest every year, and we never replace our sponsors. You notice that?
Yeah.
We can't get new sponsors for Swarmy Fest, not because they don't ask us, because there's no room on the flyer. We need maximum credibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, putting too many sponsors on a flyer kind of lowers the real estate value.
Oh yeah.
So why do we have the same sponsors come every year? Because we get along with them. We have an open forum, a collaborative community. Everybody that draws, everybody that's successful and involved with Swarmy Fest is a part of it just as much as I am. We're all owners of it. We all appreciate it. We all have the same goals.
And they all add to it and help make it bigger and better every year. We all invest into it. We all collaborate. We all have something new to bring to the table. A little bit of something old. A little bit of something new.
The other thing is just like bands come and go in the scene for obvious reasons. Fans come and go in the scene for obvious reasons. But I'm skeptical when local promoters coming in and out of the scene. Well, what happened?
Why are they no longer here?
Well, you went to prison for rape?
What happened?
Money laundering? Did you
lose the lease?
Maybe
of the building?
No, you beat your wife, or maybe you went crazy. Are you still? Because before I book with you, I want to know who are you, and what has happened in your life.
What's your mental health?
You know, bands go on hiatus because they have to record. A booking agent is one guy. Where the hell you been this whole time?
And why'd you leave and then come back?
So I'm not saying it's the be all end all. It's not a deal breaker. But when you see people come in a world, in an industry that depends on credibility, resumes, or who's done it and who knows who, when you go disappearing, some of that credibility goes out the window. You see a lot of promoters and talent buyers and tastemakers in this industry abandon ship, abandon projects, ghost, not pick up emails.
Why? No one ever asks why.
So before booking with that person, or before, I want to know, where's a person been in the last 18 months?
Right.
Because the industry depends on who knows who and who can vouch for you. So if you've been gone for 16 months, who can vouch for you?
For real.
The other thing is, like, do these promoters, when you look, go to their Facebook pages. Are they really pushing peace? Are they really pushing community? Or do you find them clout chasing? Do you find them wanting to be celebrities and stars themselves? I notice a lot, like I said, do the promoters promote themselves more than they do the artists? Are they truly building communities, or do you catch them in the back hallways making jokes about other bands? Because guess what? When they leave you, that's the same thing they're going to do to you. So when you see these promoters in New England in the back hallways or in messaging groups, and you see them throwing remarks and throwing shade and talking crazy about other local acts, do you think that that's really building communities? In an industry that's counting on everybody to have credibility and to be on time, and how can you be a premier booking agent and then keep a list of people that you shit on? And this is the last one. Damn, Lex, I can't believe it. We didn't even get to a thing.
Yeah, I was about to ask if you want me to tell them what a promoter actually does.
Yeah, I was going to have you read that, because this is one of these things that has evolved, and I just want to look, and you might even want to say local promoter. Did you local? We're going to look. We're going to Google search.
I asked Google, what are the roles or jobs a local promoter in entertainment is supposed to do?
Yo, let's hear it, Lex.
And it says, don't come at me. I'm just reading what it said.
No, and this means,
okay?
According to Google, if you ain't doing these things,
then you're not a local promoter.
this is
according to Google, not according to Lexi and Williams.
Yeah.
That's my general.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. A local promoter, according to Google, is essentially the bridge between an artist and the audience. They take the financial risk and handle the logistics of bringing an event to a specific city or venue.
Yo, we got to pause there. Did you just say the promoter handles the financial?
Yes.
So promoters, in the first sentence, Google says that a local promoter is responsible for the financial investments.
Yes, the financial risk. They
Okay.
take that on.
All right.
And handle.
The bands don't take that.
The bands do not take that, according to Google.
So when promoters in venues pocket check bands and ask them about draw, they're not supposed to take the financial risk?
They are not the bands.
The promoter's supposed to take the financial risk?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
A local... I'll read it.
Please.
This is according to Google.
I'm in a local band, and I don't think other local bands know what local promoters are supposed to be doing. Lexi, please.
A local promoter is essentially the bridge between an artist and the audience. They take...
Wait a minute. Bands aren't responsible for drawing an audience all alone?
No. According to Google, no. According to
Oh my God.
definition, no.
So that means we've been doing the job of the promoter the whole time.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh my God. Oh shit. Uh-oh.
Okay, a local promoter is essentially the bridge between an artist and the audience. The local promoter take the responsibility of the financial risk and handle the logistics of bringing an event to a specific city or venue.
Damn. Yo, can everybody just tag all the local promoters and tag all the local venues in this chat? Tag Jewel, tag the Magic Room, tag Loud Entertainment, tag NH Booking, tag everybody, because I don't think anybody has ever done a Google search on what a music promoter, what a local music promoter actually does.
They take the financial risk and handle the logistics of bringing an event to a city or venue.
So that means anyone else that's doing something other than that isn't really doing the job.
They're not doing the job.
They're doing something else.
They're doing something else.
And that's fine.
But they're not doing this.
Wait a minute. So what this means is we could fire the promoters and we could just do this ourselves.
Yes. Their primary goal, the primary goal of a local promoter, according to Google, is simple. Sell tickets. This is in boldface,
Wait,
by
what
the way.
did you say?
Sell tickets.
I thought the bands were supposed to sell tickets.
The primary goal of a local promoter is to sell tickets. That's in boldface, guys. Boldface. I'm not making
this is on Google?
This is on Google.
You meaning my friends on Facebook were wrong?
Yes.
All the local bands were wrong?
Yes. Yes.
So when the promoters tell the local bands that they're responsible for the financial risk and the bands are supposed to prioritize ticket sales, actually, when you ask Google, the promoter's supposed to take the financial risk?
Yes.
The promoter's supposed to get attendance and draw?
Yes.
So if they're not doing that,
they're doing something else.
Let's keep going.
Sell tickets and make sure the show runs smoothly.
So the bands don't make sure the shows run smoothly.
Nope, that's the promoter's job.
It's not the responsibility of the bands to walk on eggshells?
No.
Oh, okay. Fucking A.
Here's the breakdown of core roles and responsibilities
Holy
a local
shit.
promoter manages.
Yo, can you say that again? This is a reel.
Here is a breakdown of the core roles and responsibilities a local promoter manages according to Google. Number 1. This is the first one. Okay, this is number 1. I didn't make this list.
We didn't make this shit up, promoters.
Number 1, boldface, booking and talent buying.
Hold on. Imagine we could look up after this and we say, what is a musician? And it listed a bunch of things that I wasn't. Wouldn't I just stop doing what I'm doing?
Yes.
So if this says music promoters, this is the basic requirement and the description of what a music promoter is.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not doing these things, maybe they should throw in the towel.
Right. Booking and talent buying. That's number 1. That's a number 1 core responsibility a local promoter manages.
So the bands don't recruit
They
for the
don't
promoters?
recruit. They
So-
don't book.
So when
They don't buy talent.
when the promoters exploit the popular bands as recruitment agents for their booking agencies, that's not something the band should be doing.
No.
Okay, I just want to get that straight.
The promoter identifies which acts will draw a crowd in their specific market.
Who does that?
The promoter.
So the bands, they don't go and pocket check each other and worry about what the bands are drawing. That's
Nope.
not the band's job.
Nope.
So if 2 bands are on a bill, it's not the band's responsibility to worry about each other's draw?
Right.
So do you mean that the bands are not required? It's not the band's responsibility to be turned into the audience of the bands that are playing on stage?
That's correct.
Sure, that is a nice thing to do. Supporting other bands is always something you should do.
But that's not the band's priority.
But according to this,
It's not the band's priority. That's the
wow. Okay, let's go. This goes against everything that we don't do in New England, doesn't it?
It does.
This does not sound like New England. This does not sound like the New England scene that we've known.
Right.
All right.
Negotiating contracts. They work with booking agents to agree on the guarantee.
The what?
The guarantee.
What's that?
The
Do
flat
they mean money?
fee paid to the artists. That's a guarantee.
Wow.
Or
Yo. I'm just playing. Sepsiss gets guarantees.
or
Do you know why we get guarantees? Do you know why we get guarantees? We don't always get guarantees, but you know why we do? Because I know all this stuff.
yeah. Or a percentage of the gate which comes from the ticket sales.
Yeah, that's true.
The promoter negotiates
That's
that
true.
contract
Yep.
with the booking agent. Routing. They ensure the date fits into the artist's existing tour schedule. And
Wait
this
a minute. So it's not the band's job
no.
to... Okay. Hey, wow.
And-
We've been working really hard.
Here's an important one to me.
Yes.
They secure the venue. They rent the space, whether it's a club, a theater, or an outdoor park.
So it's not the band's fault if the show doesn't go through.
Correct. It's the promoter's job to secure the venue, not the band.
Man, we might have to timestamp this shit.
Number 2. That was just on number 1, y'all.
So the promoter is there as they work for the artist and they protect the show and they invest in the show and they protect the show the way that they do because they've invested in it. See, I think that's what happens a lot of times is that the promoters don't protect their bands because they're not invested in the bands. They're not developing the bands. And what I'm saying is they're not putting money into them.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
if the promoters invest, that's why I always, you guys that are promoters and that work with me, you know that I'm pushing you to go halves. You know that when we work with promoters, we push them to invest with us collaboratively, so everybody feels like they've done their part.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow,
Number 2. Marketing and street team management.
So you mean that promoters are supposed to do more than just post on Facebook?
Yes.
Promoting music is more than Facebook posts?
Yes.
Social media is only a small percentage of actually promoting shows and being responsible as a music promoter?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck my sister.
This is arguably the most visible part of the job.
Okay.
If the show is empty, the promoter loses money. So the promoter is the responsibility of advertising, buying ads on social media, buying the ads on local radio, buying the ads in weekly newspapers. That's the promoter's job.
Yo, that sounds like fun. Someday I might want to be a promoter.
Oh, yeah, you make a good one.
Do you want to know why? Because I would do all of that.
Yeah, that's why I said, oh, hell yeah, you make a good one. Because you do all this without any complaints.
Yeah, it can be fun.
Anytime his phone goes off, he's not going to get a temper.
Right.
He'll love doing this.
Yeah, maybe someday when I become a real old guy.
Mm-hmm. They put together street teams. This is the fun part that I remember you talking about with Sepsiss.
Me and Ferg will do this.
Yeah, this is the fun part right here. Street teams. Coordinating people to hang posters in coffee shops and hang out flyers.
Honey, I'm from the street.
That's what I'm saying. This is perfect. This particular thing is perfect for you and Ferg.
Yeah, no, I'm from the street. We do that.
Coordinating people to hang flyers out in coffee shops and give people shit.
You can't be cheap. It seems like to me to be a real promoter, you can't be lazy.
Yep.
You can't be cheap.
Yep.
You can't go missing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in the sunlight because sunlight is the best disinfectant, and that's going to keep your resume clean. It's going to keep your heart pure. It's going to keep you doing the right thing. I get it, Lex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into this shit.
And also public relations. Public relations.
Well, that's what I said about the sunlight thing.
Mm-hmm.
I notice a lot of promoters here, they operate in the darkness. They operate operate in the darkness. They're cliquey. They have favorites. There's a lot of favoritism, a lot of darkness in the New England scene. Or what I like to call the New England unseen scene. And it's unseen largely because of the aggression and competitiveness and darkness and yeah.
They're the ones that are responsible for building hype before the artists arrive.
You know who does that well? Larry.
Mm-hmm.
Larry does a good job with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Number 3, financial management.
Oh, Christ.
Also known as the settlement. Promoters act as the project accountants.
Oh.
They do budgeting, which is tracking every expense from venue rental and insurance to catering and security.
Wow.
They're the ones settling the show. At the end of the night, the promoter meets with the tour manager to settle. They sit down, look at the final ticket receipts, subtract the expenses, and pay the artist their share.
Wow.
They handle the money.
Yeah. I'd say that's the one thing that does get done.
Yeah, every promoter wants the money.
Well, that's true. You make a good point.
Everyone should know that one. Like, everyone has to do that one, basically. Number 4, logistics and advance work. Before the artist even arrives in town, the promoter handles the advance, which means confirming every detail, as we said earlier, every detail of the technical writer and hospitality writer. Technical, ensuring the venue has the right sound system, lighting rigs, and power requirements. Hospitality, fulfilling the artist's request for specific food, beverages, towel, or transportation.
That's it, Larry. I want some towels.
Permitting, securing local noise permits, security presence, and insurance.
Fireworks, switchblades.
You're in charge of the insurance of that.
Doberman pinches, wedding cakes.
You're in charge of that.
We need that.
Yeah. before.
So I mean, we broke it down. Anybody that disagrees with that disagrees with Google, though. You got to realize that. You're trying to be what Google says you can't. We're not telling you that you can't be a local promoter, but Google is. And Google Gaga.
Google Gaga.
Is that it?
They're number 5.
Oh, okay.
This is the last one in the list of Google. This is Google's list, not my list. Come get Google. Don't come get me.
People are going to think you wrote that list.
I did not write this list.
Lexi wrote that list. It's not real. And you know what's funny? Nobody will look just because I said that.
Right. You guys are going to look this
Do
up
yourself
on Google.
a favor.
You're going to think I'm the one that came up
Anybody that doesn't like this shit, okay, and thinks that we're making stuff up or they don't like the answers tonight, I want you to Google
your best friend
Google National Act. Pay attention, everybody. Calm down or you're going to miss it. If you're in a band and you're not chicken shit, put your own band in Google and ask if you're a national act. Okay? And then, after you're done doing that, if you're a promoter, Google local promoter and then read all the things that you're not.
I think go do all those things that you're not
Then
doing.
Google local band and read all the things you are or you're not. And then don't get mad at me for telling you to Google it.
The truth will set you free. Come out into the sunlight. It's beautiful. It's warm.
Right, you might want to stop watching this fucking page because all we do is tell the truth.
Come on out into the warmth.
That's why I said sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Here's number 5. Here we go. The last one. Dun, dun, dun. On-site operations. On the day of the show, the promoter is the first one in and the last one out. Box office. Managing guest lists and ensuring the ticket scanners are working. Problem solving. Handling everything from a broken guitar amp to a dispute with venue security. Hospitality. Making sure the green room is ready and the artist is comfortable.
Yo.
That is all.
That's fucking beautiful.
That's all you got to do.
This is the last topic we had. We went so deep into this.
We really did.
We have to do another podcast.
Yeah.
Because I already did the work for it. So we have good luck, good news, whatever you want to call it. Because
Doing another
we're
one.
gonna do another podcast. Because we already
Part
did the work.
2.
Part 2 is gonna come on after this.
Part 2.
Not tonight. But
No.
I mean, like maybe Monday or something.
Part 2.
There'll be an extra podcast this week. I promise.
Have fun. Thank you for watching.
It'll just come out. It'll be fun. But this is our last topic. We can't even get to nothing. We didn't do no computer screen today. We ain't done one like this in a while.
Yeah. Do you guys miss our faces?
This is a lot of us.
If you missed our faces like this, put a B in the chat.
You know there's a B that goes up and down a lot.
The emoji B. Not
So
the cute B.
this last one is about pre-sale tickets.
Oh.
Everybody hates pre-sale tickets.
Well, what's the deal with pre-sale tickets?
So that's how we titled it. It's called Pre-Sale Tickets. Who cares? I want to hit my little thing. This is all different now. That's different. What the fuck? That's the one I want. I gotta do it again. God damn it. Pre-sale tickets. Who needs them? And who cares? Right?
I like the way you read that, sorry. Who needs them?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you who needs them. So when it comes to pre-sale tickets, all right, there are some people that need to be excited about them, I guess, and there are some people that just don't, and that's kind of the big fight about pre-sale tickets and the debate whether they are important or not. And I think that they are important, again, for people who want to be paid for a job that isn't completed yet. Pre-sale tickets are, I think, a very risky practice because I think it encourages Ponzi schemes. Okay? If I go over and fork over, $1,000 of ticket sales before anybody's set up a drum kit, okay, I risk the promoter and going out and gambling that money. That's not his money. And like think of Capulet Fest. Think of Blue Ridge. I mean, pre-sale ticket fucking disaster.
Yeah.
So these shows, a lot of times, they don't have the money to operate, Lexi. So they count on sponsorships, pre-sale tickets, and all these little fucking schemes where the promoters get paid up front before they even put the show on. And they start covering costs and running ads from pre-sale ticket money.
This is a mess.
And then they build the show with pre-sale ticket money. They'll build parts of the show and then run around with business cards and say, look at how much I built the show. This is why you need to be a part of it. See what I just did there, man? It's so fucking deceptive, man.
Yeah.
It's so predatory. Like, I say Sleep Token is coming to this show. In some cases, you don't even know if the negotiations finish. I mean, you don't always know what level they're at in the development. Fans, even the bands, sometimes are not fully aware of how much a show is truly developed. They're in the email with one guy showing them, computer-generated digital assets, and everybody promising them they're going to play with Disturbed. I'm just pointing it out there. So who needs pre-sale tickets? People that need the money before they completed the job. Like you don't go to landscape, doing landscaping. We have a landscaping company. You might contract a job and there's some money for some supplies. I know that sort of thing happens, but let me just explain to you on a local level. When we do Swarmy Fest, I make sure that I cover the cost myself. Before I start promising people, before I start accepting pre-sale tickets, I make sure I can cover the cost of the event myself, like that Google search that you did. I make sure that I'm responsible for the finances of the show. If I don't have a budget for a show, I'm not going to rely on my pre-sale tickets to get me by. Shout out to my sponsors and people that I work with because, without them, it would be that much harder to get that boost. And that's why you always see us working with great people like Legion of Solace, BPS Records. That's why you see us working with those people over and over again. Of course, my brother Matt Connaughton, because for nearly a decade, these people have gone the extra mile. Not only do fans and bands come and go, these people speak in longevity, and they've been going the extra mile. Pushing bands and acts that maybe don't even understand the full value of what's going of what's going on. But needless to say, this is the only industry where musicians and the workers are already paid unfairly. We are already paid unfairly, and yet everybody wants their unfair payment up front. So largely this is an industry where most of the people are already paid unfairly, and unfortunately that's why everyone's acting like a cunt to begin with. The venues want to get paid before the physical bodies go in the door. Why should the venues get paid or the promoters get paid before the physical bodies are in the door? Because if you're a piano player, if you play keyboard for Sepsiss, like Lexi, then you have to wait till the show's completed. You have to wait till loadout until you get your cut. I think everybody should wait until loadout to get their cut.
I mean, isn't that how it used to be?
No. People got ripped off just like they do now. They were just as predatory. Back when money jingled and folded, people were just as disgusting, predatory, abusive, and nasty as they are now.
That's true. We saw that with a couple of movies we watched recently.
One thing that we do is we have an open book policy in Sepsiss. This is the very reason that we do it. So if anything happens or we're on our worst behavior, it can spark curiosity. So like we keep our books open. We keep all of our conversations open, even the controversial stuff. Because even though some of that stuff can spark curiosity, we know that sunshine and sunlight is the best disinfectant. So even when we make mistakes, that way when we have flaws, we can take ownership for it. We can take extreme accountability. And then we can start making the practices and the behaviors and adjustments to fine-tune our future success. But that's for grown-ups only, okay? In this business, you can't just take people's word for it. I think that's all we got today, yo. It's incredible. We had a really good show.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys learned something.
I know, forgive me, I know we have the wacky, we normally have the crazy articles going up, but like we've been talking a lot, we've been wanting to add a little bit more value. So many people, from guitarists to promoters, even our friends and family, they ask us, how do you guys do this stuff? What makes the music industry work? Like for real, like not just our opinions. You know, can you guys do a quick Google search and show us and teach us what the music industry is really about? Yes, we can. And so can you. And that's why we do this every Wednesday. See you guys next week. Tune in for a secret bonus podcast coming your way. We love you guys. We got a lot of shows. Make sure you buy some tickets. Our next show is at Platinum City Gaming. Much love and respect. Peace.